Who do you think is going to win the series? What do you think the ledger will be and why?
I think Australia will win. I think they'll win 2-1. India, I believe, need to get off to a really good start because with Adelaide being like it's been the last couple of years, of having a little bit more grass in the surface. I know it's not the night game that we've seen there the last couple of years, but India need to start well there and start well in Perth. If they get behind the 8 ball in those first 2 games, then they might fight back and win one in Sydney or Melbourne, but it'll be too late. So I'm saying 2-1 to Australia. I think our fast bowlers will bowl well to their batsmen. Obviously, Kohli, probably KL Rahul probably hold the key, I think, to their batting. They'll have Prithvi Shaw here on his first trip to Australia in fast bouncy conditions, and he's only a short little lad that might find it a little bit tougher than what he found it against the West Indies. Basically, I think it comes down to whichever team bats the best. That's how because both fast bowling attacks are good, and I think our batsmen will play better against their quicks than their batsmen will play against ours. I'd love to see the pitches have a little bit in them, to be honest, because I think our batters will as I said, will bat better against theirs with something in them than theirs will against ours. And that's, we're talking 40 years of history, aren't we, with India coming to Australia and not being able to win because of the fast, bouncy nature of our pitches. So I'd love to see them that way. I mean, if it's a wicket in Perth like I saw for the one-dayer over there against South Africa, then I can't see India making too many at all, because that thing did, and that was a one-dayer. That went all over the shop. So with a good pace and good bounce. So look, I think, I'd like to see a little bit of grass left on them for the first 2, and then I think Australia can put the series to bed after 2 tests. I think AUSvIND Test will be player of the series this summer. I think he's on top of his game. His record in Australia is outstanding. I don't, as much of a threat as the Indian fast bowlers might pose, I think he's got a game that can cope with it here in Australia. So I'm going for him to be leading run scorer in the series and man of the series. He'll just pip Kohli. Kohli will play well, I'm sure, because he does everywhere he goes, and had a great series out here against Australia last time. Just where they're starting though with Adelaide and Perth, as I said, if they leave something in them, I think Kohli's a bit more vulnerable in those conditions than certainly Melbourne and Sydney. So I'm tipping Khawaja to be leading run scorer.
Just on Khawaja, I guess we've seen him do it in spinning conditions now. Maybe, I guess the question mark for all of Australia's batters is how they go on wickets that might do a little bit more, and how confident are you that he can do it on pitches that seem potentially a bit? Well,
it's everyone's great challenge. I mean, no one likes batting in those conditions. Everyone looks vulnerable at some stage in conditions that play like that. But he's done it in Australia before, and I'm sure he can do it again. And the reason I'm saying about him is, I just think right now he's in a really good place. The selectors have backed him through that UAE tour, gave him a chance, and he came out on the other side of that. So with the skill that he's got and maybe a bit more belief in his own game than ever before, I think he's got the perfect package to have a great summer.
A magic catch!
I think Josh Hazlewood will be the leading wicket taker in the series. Once again, going back to conditions, Adelaide and Perth will suit him down to the ground, just with the way that he bowls and the way he presents the seam in those venues, with a little bit, and being, whatever he is, 6'5" or 6'6" as well, he'll exploit the bounce out of the tracks that a lot of the Indians won't be comfortable with. So I'll go for him as the leading wicket taker.